हम लोग भी सब पढ़ रहे हैं, वो सब थ्योरी से ही पढ़ रहे हैं,
right?
जो भी चीजें चल रही है पहले से।
So today we will discuss about the syllabus, right? Syllabus, Python for data science. How we will start with the things. So first of all, we will be using tool. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. Is this okay? Audible?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. So here we will be using tools. One tool that we will be using, that is Visual Studio Code.
Yes.
Visual Studio Code. So this is the IDE developed by Microsoft. So
Yes.
and we will install Python software. Latest version, right? Latest version. So whatever version 3.13 or something. So there are two types of version. One is stable version, right? So we should always work on stable version, because there might be any other version, pre-release version or release version. So in stable version, most of the bugs or things are most of the time these are fixed. So here third thing, we will use another tool, that is Spider. This one, Spider. So in Spider we will understand how to use Spider, how to create working directory, and how to save script whatever we are writing, and then how we will be doing the file execution, variable creation, arithmetic logical operation, data types, all that. So this is the beginning, and then we will start from the data types, right? So if we are learning any programming language, suppose you are learning R programming, you are learning Python programming, or any other programming language, so data type and their associated operation, the understanding of the data types is very important. Do you think if we know the data type very correctly, so what impact will come?
So we will be knowing about what are these data types. So we can easily execute them directly. So without like with using our time in it, we can solve some real world.
Right. We can also decide. Which data type need to be taken for particular type of operation, right? So understanding of data type is very important in terms of any programming language, whatever programming language we are using. So all the data types we will be exploring. What are data types available in Python? Then we will start with the sequence data type and sequence data types. So sequence data type means what data type we have? We have strings, right? Strings, list, arrays and tuples and dictionary, you can say dictionary. We have set, frozen set,
Yes.
we have, then we have range. We will be using range. So this is the sequence data type and all about, and how the questions can be using the data types, what problems we can solve using the data types. And then we have NumPy, right? Numerical Python. So here we will be studying about n-dimensional array. N-dimensional array, right?
So is it like matrix only?
Yeah, a matrix can have rows and columns, but
Yes.
we can create n-dimensional, like we have 6 dimension, 5 dimension, 8 dimension, 30 dimensions as per requirement. So we will be dealing with that, and then we will study about pandas. So this is another library, Panda. And here we will be studying our data frames and its operation. So here we can study about how to read file. Like we have different source, like we have CSV file, we have Excel file, we have data in a SQL, right? So how do we read the data from different sources, different files, and then we will do the exploratory analysis. So exploratory data analysis, this one, and we will do data processing. After that we will go in data visualization part. So here we have different visualization techniques, and we can be using MATLAB or Seaborn libraries, right? So different libraries we will be using. There are many libraries, but most of the famous libraries are Matplotlib and Seaborn. Matplotlib and Seaborn. These libraries we will be exploring, and in data visualization we will have scatter chart, we will have line plot, and another is bar plot, you can say bar plot, histogram. So theory part you will understand from statistics, right? So here we will be implementing box plot, and we have pair plot. So these are the major famous. Okay, and we will be using many control structures as well. Control structures means control statement, conditioning, all that. So like we have conditional statement, right? Conditional statement. conditional statement, you will be studying about if, else if, family, for loop, and you will be using break and continue, all that, while loop, functions. So this is the major important thing. After that, you will be working on regression and classification.
Yes.
So, but beside this, we have other topics. We have other topics in Python that you can also go through. Like we have important things, class and objects, right? Class and object. So that part you will be studying. I mean, we can also cover in different section like file handling, correct? File handling. File handling, reading, read, write, all these operations, whatever are required. So we will do file handling, and then we have OOPS concept, right? OOPS concept, where you will be creating class, inheritance, polymorphism, all that. There you will study class, object, class and object, like this, inheritance, and polymorphism. So OOPS concept is available in all high level languages, like you can say we have C++, we have Java. So the writing syntax are different, but in terms of concept, so most of the times these are same. And we will also work on exception handling part, how exceptions occur and how do we handle it. So these are the major important things that you will be studying in this course, and post that you will be working on data structure part, right? So where you will study about data structure part. So do you have an idea what data structure parts, like you will study about list, array, tree, hashing, binary tree, right? Linear search, bubble search, insertion sort, bubble sort. So searching and sorting techniques, tree, all that. So I don't think this is the final syllabus. We will try to complete most of the things, whatever syllabus is covered on MIT, IITs, and other top universities, right? So we will not skip any of them. Because in the first semester, if you understand the basics, then you will be going in problem solving, correct? If you have better understanding for the basics, then you will be solving the problem at top level. Okay. So this is the major update about the syllabus, whatever we are going to cover, but I can say this is not the final syllabus. If we have something, we will be covering all things about data structure, DSA, right? Also.
So that data structure means data structure and algorithm mean DSA.
Yeah,
Yes.
in DSA there are various topics, but yeah, in initial stage, do you study about various topics which are very important? Like I can say, I can list down. Like we have list and arrays, right? So list and array is a just concept. List and array is a concept, but the problems will be based on this. The problems will be based on it. You will be solving problems around arrays and list, but you should know the basic concept and detailed concept of it. Then one can solve the problem whatever are there, and you will study about stack, right? So in stack we have concept about leap last in first out repo stack. We have queue. So stack and queue example you will be solving. For example, I can show you one thing. Like you have a problem that is Tower of Hanoi, right? So in Tower of Hanoi we have 3 towers: Tower 1, Tower 2 and Tower 3. And these towers are having 3 plates. Plate 1, this is the plate 2 and plate 3. So here the rule is plate 1 is greater than plate 2, okay? And plate 2 is greater than plate 3. In the same order, any tower can bear these plates, okay?
Yes.
Any tower. If we are choosing tower 1, then in the same order these plates will be kept. At the bottom there will be plate 1 because it is the bigger one, and P2 is little bit smaller than P1, P3 is the most small. So the problem is that we have to transfer these 3 plates from this tower to this tower. We can take this tower to as a temporary to move, but the rule is these final plates should be in the same order, correct? So how do you transfer these plates, correct?
First, so should I answer or what?
Yeah, you can think of, but these kind of problems we will be solving in this syllabus, like list and queue, all that, okay? So we have queues, we have linked list. So linked list, hashing, we will be studying hash tables. So hash tables we have tree, right? So binary, we have binary tree, and we have binary search tree. We can say binary search tree. This is also called BST. This one. And we have AVL tree. So AVL is the name on the 3 scientists. Their name starts from A, V and L, and it is also called height balanced tree. Height balanced tree. So this one is the tree, and then you will be studying about graph theory, basic graph, right? Do you know what graph is in real life? Like you can see this one. You have traveling salesman problem, correct? One problem I can say, traveling salesman problem. So here you have problem like this. There is a city, correct? There is a city. Or you can take another example. don't find this is, you can take, there is a post office, right? There is a post office in your city, and there is a postman. Okay, there is a postman, and this postman, this city is divided into various sectors. This city divided into various sectors like street and mohalla, all that, right? This way, suppose this is a map of the city, you can just consider. So, and there are various places, I can, these are the places where the postman need to go. There can be different places. So this postman need to deliver letters to different places. So what will be the shortest path? Correct. What will be the shortest path? How this postman should deliver the post every day, so that this person need to travel very less. This person need to travel less, and that means less time is consumed. Less time is consumed. Less cost is consumed. Less cost is taken, and whatever you can say travel cost in terms of time, in terms of distance, in terms of any expense, correct? And effort is also there, correct? And there are certain parameter like traffic jam, diversion, all that, correct? So these kind of problems you might be solving in graph. And in graph you can take another example. Suppose you have a city and you need to lie down water pipeline, correct? Water pipeline in any city from this place. How water pipeline will go, correct? In the entire city. How the sewer line will go in the entire city. So these are the various DSA problems that need to be solved. And think, the number of problems are not certain. Suppose some person learn 100 problem, 10 problem, 50 problem, right? That is not, thousands of questions can be there, right? Thousands of questions can be there, and their difficulty level might be different. So the best thing is that you should know the basics, how you make the approach, what is the strategy of solving the problem, so that its complexity is not much. Okay, so these things are mostly taught in graph. Then you have linear search, right? Linear search. Linear search, you remember, like you have a reel where you have songs, song 1, song 2, song 3, and you need to listen any song. So you will have to forward the previous song. Okay.
Yes.
This one, linear search. Then we have binary search. Binary search. Then again we have topic like sorting techniques, how the data will be sorted along. So sorting techniques you will be studying about, like bubble sort, selection sort, insertion sort, radix sort, merge sort, this way. And you have randomized algorithm also, randomized quick sort. So different sorting techniques. we need to identify which sorting techniques would be more effective for the particular problem, right? So this one is the basic DSA part that is mostly taught in your BTech, and little bit higher syllabus is there and also taught for the interview and exam preparation, right? For the top level companies. So what happens, people know these things theoretically, right? People know what is stack, but actual implementation is demanded. So how you implement these concepts and how you solve the problem using these techniques, that is very important thing. We have to take care of all this. Otherwise, what will happen? People know this one is the tree, okay, that's parent and child relation, like yesterday we talk about in table, right? So same thing, same these things can also be done in our database also, right? So that's why we have two types of database. If you search, you will find we have structured database and unstructured database, correct? If we search for the particular one, so we have structured versus unstructured database. Unstructured database we have. So we have this one. Structured database store organized quantifiable data in predefined format using relational tables like we are using in MS SQL or MySQL. Okay, so we have rows and columns and their data type is fixed, their data range is fixed. Okay, but in the unstructured database, what happens? In a unstructured database, like we have not fixed schema, right? So we don't have fixed schema. Suppose you are writing an email, correct? You are writing an email. So this email can be of 100 words. This email can be of 1500 words. You can attach 2 attachment. Somebody can attach 10 attachment as per available size, correct? So here we can say the definition of data is not given in unstructured part, correct? So this is the important buzzword that we should understand, what is the structured database and unstructured database. So like unstructured database, you see what we have, social media post or emails, right? So we do not know how long the email would be. We do not know what kind of post it be. It can be a text, it can be a video, it can be a audio, and how long the video audio will be, what will be the genre in audio, what music will be in video, correct? And images, and so we don't know how the images are coming, what will be the background, what will be the color. So everything, that means we can say the structure of these things is not defined, and we are going to handle using some database. So this will come under unstructured database, correct? So this comes under NoSQL. This comes under NoSQL. So we have these things, and different software are available for this, all that. So you can also think of. So these are the important things that need to be taken care of. And DSA is the one thing, na? DSA it is not dependent on any programming language, correct? Somebody is solving these problems using C++, somebody is solving these problems using Java, somebody is solving these problems using Python. So depending upon your expertise and understanding of the problem, right, you can select which language you want to use, correct? So that is important thing. So during your BTech syllabus, you will be studying different programming languages, like you will be studying Python, C++ or Java, because it might be in your syllabus. So that is not a wonder part, but yes, concepts and problem solving based on these concepts and their actual implementation, case study, small projects, that is also important. And so any doubt in the syllabus part? No. Right? Because Python, learning Python programming is another thing. Python, in earlier session we have studied, Python is used for web development, Python is used for software development, it is also used for system administration, right? So different things can be done, but if you want to make your career in data science domain, so then this syllabus is useful for you. Okay, because if you search Python for different things, so that is most of the common things are there, but yes, we can say we are totally considering the data science part over here. This one is the normal part, okay, that comes under the Python programming, but this one is in data structure and all that part. Okay, so how many data types you have studied so far? Leave that question. First, we will discuss what do you know about Python. You might be hearing it from since last 2 or 3 years. So what do you know about this? Right, about Python programming. Just a basic question. If we just search what is Python programming, what are things are there, so we will have plenty of information, right? If we just search what is Python programming, just simple question, right? So what things we are getting that we need to understand in very scratch. So it is saying Python is a high level interpreted language. High level means,
so it can be used in multiple ways.
No, high level language means the syntax are, most of the syntax are in English like language, human like language, right? We are using the print. If we just take the example of low level language, just try to understand low level language. So you can take the example, all the things were written in pseudocode, or you can say mnemonics, right? So let me check this one. Low level language, low level language, correct? Understanding each part is very important. So a low level language is a programming language with minimal abstraction from hardware, right? So it will be directly working with hardware, providing control over computer processor and memory related tasks requiring high performance hardware such as operating system, device driver, embedded system, all that. So the characteristics of low level programming language, it is having direct control over hardware, memory, processor, and it is machine specific. It is machine specific. Machine specific means I will tell you. That means what was happening. If you might have heard about assembly language, this is the best example to tell you. Assembly language. So assembly language in early days, what was happening? Assembly. Let me write it correct. So assembly language, that means this was based on some pseudocode and mnemonics, and it was directly based on particular device architecture. Like we had machine 8085 processor, right? 8085 microprocessor, 8086 microprocessor, different microprocessors were used. 8086 microprocessor, then came Motorola, right? You might have heard about this. So Motorola processor, then came Intel processor. Have you heard about Intel processor?
Yes, sir. Intel set
Right.
Set generally have black maps.
So Intel processor, all that. So the architecture of each microprocessor was different. Suppose the circuit design in 8085 was different from 8086, and likewise in Motorola, Intel, and nowadays the latest processor whatever we are using, like you say i10, all that, i7, i5 processor, right? So every processor has different architecture and different circuit design. Okay, so this low level language was assumed to be written in assembly language, and this was called assembly language because it was directly interacting with the hardware part, memory, CPU, processor, all that. And it was not human readable, it was just very difficult to understand. So that's why it was called. So we just see machine code, the most basic form of low level language consisting of binary number 0 and 1. Then came what? Assembly language. So here only we used symbols. What symbols we used? Actually, we could know in this processor, like we have different registers. Memory parts, all that. So suppose we had data segment, we had stack segment, right? So these were the part of this microprocessor where different things were used. So in data segment, and like we used to use this kind of command, move ax comma bx. So ax and bx are the name of registers. Ax and bx are the names of registers that we used to make. Like to add two numbers, we had to write around 30 lines of code. You know how difficult it was.
Yes.
In 2003 or 4, we used to write this kind of programming, and it was very difficult to understand the architecture and how the data segment will be working, how the stack segment will be working, and we had two segments to represent the data. Like we had 8-bit, so it was called H, like you can say H, and this one was called AL, this one. So higher bit of AX register, A means AX register, higher bit of AX register, so we used to provide AH equal to this one, right? AL equal to something like 0 1 0 1 0 1. It could be any number or a string value, whatever. And then we used to perform some operation, or sometimes we used to perform AH XOR L. Right, so you must know what XOR operation might be doing with AH and AL values, correct? So internally, addition, subtraction, multiplication is done using these gates, using gates. We have AND, OR, NOT, XOR, NAND, all these gates, and we have XOR, XNOR, exclusive OR. These operation we used to perform, and how the addition, subtraction, multiplication, all that was done using these things. So do you think this language is easy to learn and human readable? It was used in early days when the at the time of programming language development, and machine was also being developed, and every day new changes were coming. In very starting, the assembly language was. So this one is called the example of low level language, right? So the feature of low level language are written. You can just see, you don't need to remember, but you must understand. And the machine code, suppose the machine architecture is different, so the code was compiled for this machine only, right? And the architecture of this machine, the registers, everything were different, so the code was executed for this machine. So we can say it was platform dependent. It was platform dependent. That means if we used registers and structure and microprocessor type everything, and we used to write program, then this program could be executed on only this machine, right? So that means it is the platform independent. The machine for which this program has written, the program can only be executed on that machine. If the program were written for this machine, targeting the registers, all that, right, processor, everything, memory segment, everything, so the program could be executed only on this machine. So interoperability was not available. That means this program can we execute this program on this machine? No, it was not possible, correct? But today you see, if you write Python, you can run on Windows machine, you can run on Linux machine, you can run on your Android operating system, right? So these things are available today, but in early days when we had low level language, and the best example is assembly level language, so this used to convert the whole program into machine code, and this machine code was only targeted for the particular machine architecture for which we used to write the program. If we are writing program for Motorola, then the program will run only on Motorola 386 processor, correct? Otherwise it is not possible to run 386, 385. So the meaning of this machine specific means it was only runnable on particular type of device, right? So it was for the specific processor architecture. It is clearly written over here, and not easily portable to other systems. We could not run the program on any machine, and difficult for humans to understand. So you can see how difficult is this to understand everything and debugging everything. So but we used to directly handling operating system, device driver, embedded system, like things, and we had performance critical operation. Just so speed and efficiency, program run faster, and memory efficient due to direct. So program execution was very fast because we were directly working on registers, right? So it was not required to compile code and do all that, convert in machine code, everything that was not happening. So it was directly interacting with the hardware, so that was very faster. But the disadvantage, it was very difficult for human programmers to write and understand. You can see non-portability. It was for the machine specific architecture, so it could run, and very less library we had at that time. We had very less libraries available. So this one is the example of low level. Now you got it. Before studying programming, you should know what is low level language. Now you have better idea.
Yes.
Right, so this one is the low level. Then came middle level language. Then came middle level language programming. So you can also check out middle level language. Middle level language. Right? So you can also check out a middle level language or intermediate language is a programming language that blends features of both high level language and low level language, acting as a bridge between raw hardware. Correct. It provides the direct hardware manipulation or like low level language, and it has better syntax structure, so that rich function and libraries were also available. So the most common examples are these: C and C++, which are used for system level tasks, for creating operating system, device driver, all these things. Even most of many IoT devices are also programmed using these languages. It is not outdated, but yes, it is used by the people who are directly working on hardware part. Okay. So this one is the example of middle level language. So middle level language, it has both features of high level language. That means it is human readable and it has rich libraries, and low level features. It can directly interact with hardware. It can directly interact with memory, all that. So it is the combination of high level and low level language, system level coding. So we could perform coding for operating system, device driver, and application specific things, and intermediate representation. Some middle level language like Java compile to an intermediate code like Java bytecode, right? So that is also you will study in Java. While studying Java, you will understand about Java virtual machine, JVM, all that. So these are the compiler part, but in short, you can say middle level language is the combination of low level and high level language features, and it can be used with some syntax and libraries like high level language. And then came after that, then came high level language. If you look out. A high level language is a programming language that is designed to be human readable, right? So today you are writing print, hello. So it is English like structure, right? Easier for programmers to write and understand the code using natural language like commands, abstraction, hardware details, everything we have. So human readable, it is having abstraction, means we do not need to take care of hardware, everything. We need to just focus on logical part. We do not need to focus on hardware specific part. Machine independent, that means program written in higher level language can be executed on different machine, different platform, different operating system. Platform means different operating system. Right. Today, if we are writing program on Python program on Windows machine, this can be also executed on Linux machine. This can also be executed on Ubuntu. This can be also executed on Mac operating system. So, machine independent, correct? And various rich tools, libraries are available. You can create graph, you can create colorful designs, so many things are available. So in short, you must understand what is the difference between low level language, high level language, and middle level language, or you can say low level language versus middle level language, right? Middle level language and versus high level language. So before studying any programming language, we must understand the basics of these things. So it would be very much easier to compare the things, how earlier it was and how today it is. So do you got some better insight, better idea? Okay. This is the important thing that we need to understand. Low level language, middle level language and high level language. Today we are using different high level language that we have, right? We have C++, we have Python, we have C#, Microsoft developed, we have Java, right? PHP. So different high level languages we are using today, and in middle level language we just used C, C++, or you can see NSIC. This was also there. So, and in low level language we just used to have assembly language, right, for the different microprocessors. Assembly language. So now if you want, you can create a chart or you can read from different sources, but I expect you to explore it at least once or twice. Okay, so that is very important, because what happens, people start learning programming, they study Python, C#, Java, all that, but they don't know what these terms and terminologies. Understanding terms and terminologies is very important, correct, for the longer run. So any doubt up to this point? Do you have any question? You might have studied about generations of computer, right?
Yes.
So similarly, it is the generation of programming languages. There are thousands of programming languages used across the globe for the different purpose, and every programming language has its own pros and cons. That means you can't say this programming language is perfect, okay? You can't say. Every programming language has its own limitation, its own advantages and disadvantages, whatever programming language. And every programming language is used for different purpose, right? Suppose you want to work for IoT application, correct? So you want to work for IoT application. So which programming is better suited for IoT devices? For embedded system, right? So we create embedded system. So for embedded system, which programming language is better? So accordingly we choose which programming language we are going to study. Not randomly we are just taking one thing. You want to study about data science, right? So data science. So nowadays Python is the most curated, most sought programming language for data science, AI and ML or deep learning, you can say, right? So this language is well suited for all these purposes. Yes, Java has its own pros and cons, and if you are working in web development, right? So in web development we have different stack of technologies. Like if you talk about web development, so we have different stacks, like we have mean stack, MERN stack, right? We have full stack, .NET, all that. So you have mean means MongoDB, EFR Express.js, Angular, and Node, right? Similarly, we have MERN stack, Mongo, Express, right? React, Node, and full stack. We have .NET and Java, and using mean and MERN combination, all that we have. So like we have different client side technologies that work on browser, we have server side technology that work on machine. So this is the entire ecosystem. Every programming language is serving different purpose. Every programming language is different purpose. And stack means the set of things, the set of programming languages, front end, back end, or libraries. That is, now your concern is with what? Data science and AI and ML related thing. Okay, your concern is with what? Data science, AI and ML related thing. So you might be studying Python, R, and you might be studying data like SQL. You might be studying MongoDB in future, or other unstructured database we have. But statistics, mathematics, Python, all that will be combined all together. Then you will be working with data science, AI, and ML project. So this one is the one scenario. Like somebody is preparing herself or himself for the web development, then they have these much options, right? And another terminologies are also there, cloud technologies, right? Note down this one, as you have first question to explore low level, middle level, and high level language, and the second is cloud technologies. Cloud technologies. So these are also important, where you keep your entire database, where you keep your application. In a team there can be 10 person, in a team there can be 100 person. They will be working all together, how the tracking, how the project is tracked, how the network part is handled. Have you heard about GPU? GPU and CPU. Have you heard about?
Yes.
CPU is in your laptop, and GPU. GPU we have, but very small GPU. But we are using generative AI, machine learning, all that. So we need better GPU, right? So today, if we search about GPU, this one, sorry, it is misspelled. GPU, graphics processing unit, right? So using generative AI, you are just using to create images, videos, using some prompt. So GPU is graphics processing unit. So we need much hardware to perform all these kind of tasks. So your today's task would be to explore two things, not much. Which are these?
So firstly, I have to tell about the low level, middle level, and high level programming languages.
Right. Some basic understanding of all these things, right? So that you might be better correlating with the things. And the second is cloud technologies. Yes, what cloud technologies are available in the market? What is the meaning of cloud? Some person might be saying like cloud like Badal. Huh? So
Yes.
it is inspired with that, but your data is in planet, is in air, or your data is in any machine. So there are many doubts among people. So you need to explore what is the meaning of cloud, what is the cloud technology, how things are happening, what are the cloud service provider, like you might have heard about Google Cloud, you might have heard about Azure Cloud, you might have heard about IBM Cloud, right? So Alibaba Cloud, different cloud technology provider we have, and how things are happening around us nowadays. Because one day, if you are working on any data science project, so these things might be also useful for you. How you will be keeping all your data, where you will be keeping your data and files, where this, suppose you have trillions yettabyte of data, so can you perform processing on your computer?
Also.
It's not possible. You need cloud technologies, right? So where do we store that much data? How the processing will take place? Everything we have in much and more part scenario. That is the very important thing that we have. But basic understanding of these things, because people are making separate career in these, right? People are making separate career in DevOps engineer, LLM ops. So we have different job roles available for the cloud technologies. If you search, right, you see job roles in cloud technologies. You will see, or you can see cloud computing, right? So many job roles are available: cloud architect, cloud solution architect, cloud, and for design and strategy part, for infrastructure hardware part, cloud engineer, cloud administrator, they are taking care of network part, cloud system engineer, cloud network engineer, site reliability engineer, SRE, cloud developer, cloud data engineer. Then comes security part, cloud security engineer, support engineer, DevOps engineer, consultant. So these are the so see these roles, how many roles are related with the cloud technologies, right? So every job roles needs specific skill set, not everything, specific skill set, like cloud data scientist, right? So you are studying about data science part, but when you combine with your data science skill with the cloud, and you want to manage and handle these things, then there is another option, cloud data scientist, correct?
Yes.
So things begin from very small, but they take very giant form. Like you can search job roles in AI, right? See,
Yes.
so many job roles are available. See the entire list, this one. So it is around AI engineer, machine learning engineer, data science, NLP engineer. So depending upon the expertise of the person, which area you actually target, and for which area you actually work for. That the important thing is. So, but don't be confused. These are just for understanding, for general knowledge, because if you are a BTech graduate, so you don't need to understand everything. Yes, but you should have liner things, right? You should have one-liner things, not for everything, but related to your domain only. Okay. Okay. So we will be going through the syllabus what we have discussed, and I can say this is not the final one syllabus. We will have new things because technology is changing every day, right? So we can't say we are just stick to this part only. Suppose after some day in Python or data science there comes any other new concept. Like people are working on AGI, right? Arguments. This one. People are also working AGI. So generative AI is okay. AGI, that is another thing, another level. So, okay, see you tomorrow at the same time. Yeah,
Yes.
bye.